Eunoia, A Blueprint for a Planet in Harmony, 2nd edition, expanded vision, Initiative 4, the Steward of the Land Education Program. Shaping stewards through practice, place, and purpose. The Steward of the Land Education Program is the gateway through which individuals become stewards, humans devoted to the care, restoration, and co-evolution of Earth and community. It is a life-shaping journey, combining ancestral wisdom, ecological science, practical skills, and emotional intelligence. This is not an academic certificate. It is an embodied initiation, one that prepares participants to live in harmony with the land, lead within ecovillages, and respond to the greatest challenges of our time. A school built into the soil. Following principles from Innovating Living's garden model and Eunoia's global vision, this program is structured within learning communities grounded in 5 core values: peace, joy, gratitude, kindness, abundance. These values aren't simply themes. They shape the atmosphere, culture, and intent of every activity. Participants live, work, and learn together in rotating crews, developing a broad and deep range of competencies necessary for long-term stewardship and regenerative leadership. Practical skills and knowledge domains. Each crew rotation introduces specific technical and relational skills. Below is a breakdown of the knowledge streams taught in the program. Ecological and land stewardship, permaculture design, soil regeneration and composting, water catchment and grey water systems, native plant identification and seed harvesting, wildlife tracking and protection, fire-smart land practices and fuel load reduction, pollinator habitat design, sustainable construction, natural building techniques, example, cob, straw bale, earth bag, timber frame, passive solar design and ventilation, tool safety and workshop skills, saws, drills, solar-powered systems, waterproofing, roofing, and foundational engineering, ethical sourcing and material life cycle awareness, community space construction, kitchens, composting toilets, gathering halls, wilderness safety and first aid, wilderness first aid certification, emergency response scenarios, fire, flooding, wild animal encounters, navigation, orienteering, and GPS map reading, survival shelters and cold weather preparation, plant medicine for minor injuries, signal communication and bush radio basics, evacuation and triage systems in remote villages, food systems and nutrition, seed starting, propagation, and seasonal gardening, wild foraging, identification of edible medicinal plants, harvesting, drying, and food preservation, cooking for communities with dietary diversity, fermentation, sprouting, and gut health, animal care, ethically raised poultry, goats, bees, etc., community health and emotional intelligence, nonviolent communication, conflict resolution and restorative circles, mental health first aid, grief tending, trauma-informed care, celebration and ceremony as healing, cultural humility and cross-cultural respect, civic leadership and governance, consensus and consent-based governance, referendum-style voting, local law and land rights education, stewardship contracts and social compacts, record-keeping transparency and accountability, project management and budgeting tools, ethics, story, and eco-spirituality, global ecological ethics, ancestral land wisdom from elders and indigenous mentors, eco-spiritual traditions and place-based ceremony, nature journaling and storytelling, planetary systems thinking and global cycles, program format and certification. This program is delivered as a 12-week immersive cycle. Through hybrid and modular formats will exist to support accessibility in different regions. Participants rotate through all 5 value-based communities and receive cross-training in each core domain. Upon completion, participants earn Eunoia Steward of the Land certification, additional certifications, Wilderness First Aid, Permaculture Design Certificate, Basic Solar Installation, Natural Building Completion Badge, Community Facilitation and Governance. Graduates become eligible for placement in Eunoia eco-villages, mentorship roles in future programs, stewardship contracts for land restoration initiatives, regional leadership networks, and continuing education. Values in action, the why. The content of the program is designed not just for skills, but for transformation. You cannot tend land unless you are willing to tend yourself. You cannot build community unless you know how to resolve conflict. You cannot teach restoration without living respect. This program trains people not just to work the land, but to listen to it, live with it, and protect its future. Ongoing learning and global support. Each eco-village becomes a campus. Graduates can return to teach, host workshops, or apprentice new stewards. Online supplements. The Eunoia Educational Online Resource will offer guided modules, elder videos, tool libraries, and project templates. Global Learning Exchange. Participants may travel to other eco-villages to share practices across bioregions, building a worldwide network of ecological and cultural resilience. A new kind of education. This is education rooted in soil and soul, where every day is shaped by seasons, where the curriculum is life itself. As we teach others to care for the earth, we remember that the earth, too, is teaching us. Intentional eco-villages, sanctuaries of purpose, designed for life. In a world fragmented by generic housing developments, isolation, and ecological harm, Eunoia's answer is not merely to build homes. It is to create sanctuaries of intention. These are not random settlements. They are intentional eco-villages, living communities that each hold a unique purpose, guided by the needs of the people and land they serve. Eco-villages under Eunoia are not one-size-fits-all. They are diverse, place-based, and deeply designed. Each is a manifestation of healing, whether of earth, species, memory, or spirit. What makes them intentional? To be intentional is to begin with why, to build with a clear purpose, soul, and care. Before the first stone is laid or seed planted, every Eunoia eco-village answers a sacred question. What is this land asking for? Who is this place meant to heal? That answer becomes its guiding star, informing its layout, architecture, governance, projects, and community roles. Some eco-villages grow into centers of environmental regeneration, others into sanctuaries for neurodivergent children, or into living seed banks, or end-of-life care villages. Some are schools, others are temples, all are home. A diverse ecosystem of villages. 1. Memory villages for those with dementia. Inspired by dementia village models in the Netherlands and beyond, these eco-villages provide a safe, walkable environment with circular paths and visual cues. Staff and neighbors trained in compassionate memory care. Nature immersion, music and gardens designed to stimulate memory and calm. Connection to animals, children, and art to reduce isolation and fear. These villages honor the elders, allowing them to age in dignity with community, not in sterile isolation. Spectrum villages, safe havens for autistic and neurodivergent youth. Created with input from neurodiverse families and specialists, these villages feature sensory sensitive design, natural lighting, low noise, textured paths. Creative learning spaces built around movement, nature, and routine. Trauma-informed educators and social-emotional guides. Small social pods and flexibility. No rigid schooling or authority-first models. Integrated support for parents and siblings. The whole family thrives. These are villages of understanding, where difference is not special needs. It's a unique way of being, deeply honored. Earthkeeper villages, hubs of environmental regeneration. These villages exist where the earth has been scarred by logging, industry, desertification, or pollution. Their intent: rewilding and soil healing, native planting, erosion control, mycology, and carbon capture. Mycology and carbon capture. Community training and regenerative land design. Watershed restoration, composting systems, seed saving, and climate resilience. Long-term tracking of ecological recovery, shared as public science. The land becomes the classroom and the teacher. Wildlife steward villages, protecting the voiceless. Built near critical habitats, these villages focus on restoring and protecting endangered species. Features include wildlife corridors, protected nesting zones and observation sanctuaries, on-site biologists, citizen scientists, and indigenous knowledge keepers. Coexistence training. Villagers learn to live with rather than apart from wildlife. Anti-poaching surveillance, ethical tourism, and species monitoring. These are the villages of guardians, keeping the sacred animals of earth from vanishing forever. Healing villages for grief, trauma, and rebirth. For those recovering from war, loss, domestic abuse, or systemic violence, these villages are soul sanctuaries. They offer trauma-informed care and healing rituals, community kitchens, art studios, fire circles, and sweat lodges, peace gardens and spaces for silence, prayer, and song. Grief tending as a communal practice, not a private burden. No one heals alone here. These villages remind us to be human is to break, and to be held until we remember how to rise. A living network of purpose. These villages are not static institutions. They evolve, grow, and even transform as needs change. They are interlinked, able to share resources, mentors, seeds, and surplus across the global Eunoia network. Each village maintains a core mission defined in its founding covenant, a Human Wellness Council and Land Ethics Committee, its own website and marketplace where its offerings, stories, and needs are shared with the world. And while each village is distinct, they are united by Eunoia's heart values: peace, transparency, dignity, and ecological justice. Why this matters. The old world built cities for profit, prisons for the poor, institutions for the vulnerable, and factories for the land. Eunoia builds villages with soul. By designing communities around purpose, not control, we give every person and every place the chance to flourish in alignment with their truth. This is not utopia. This is a reunion between humans and the earth. between intention and place, between care and community. Let them be called not just eco-villages, but villages of belonging. A worthy wage for a worthy life. Within the Eunoia framework, the Steward of the Land program offers more than just purpose. It offers provision. At the heart of this vision is a universal base living wage, a steady, lifelong income designed not as a handout, but as an earned honor. It is the reward for choosing a life in service to the earth. This wage is not wealth in the traditional sense. It is not meant to enable excess, nor is it rooted in the illusion of infinite growth. Instead, it is grounded in reciprocity, given to those who give back. To be a steward is to care for the land, to live sustainably, to choose a life of intention over indulgence. The wage reflects this choice, recognizing the profound value of those who tend to ecosystems, protect biodiversity, and restore the sacred balance between humanity and the planet. The steward's wage is modest but sufficient. It ensures security, nutritious food, safe shelter, medical care, meaningful community, and lifelong learning. But it does not subsidize luxury that places an undue strain on the natural systems we depend on. Stewards understand this. They live by a code of mutual respect with nature, not domination over it. Eunoia is a fair organization. There is no hierarchy of wealth here, no tiered salary systems or inflated leadership bonuses. Leaders receive the same base wage as every steward because their role is one of guidance, not superiority. Leadership is service. All who take part in Eunoia, regardless of role, are held to the same expectation: to live simply, to live truthfully, and to live in balance with the earth. This is not about austerity. It is about freedom. Freedom from the rat race, freedom from debt, freedom from exploitation, and above all, freedom to live in alignment with what truly matters. Choosing this path may mean giving up some comforts: air travel, fast fashion, disposable conveniences, but in return one gains something far more enduring: peace, purpose, and participation in the healing of the world. The steward's wage is not charity. It is a social contract, a mutual agreement between the earth and those who agree to care for her. And through that contract, we not only restore ecosystems, we begin to restore ourselves.